So there's a Bible verse that says, those who work their land will have abundant food, but those who chase fantasies have no sense. And this is exactly what it's like as an artist. And just in general in life is just overcoming fantasy and just how hard it is to try and see things for how it actually is. Part of being a businessman and an artist, an entrepreneur, is overcoming this fantasy and actually understanding things for how they are. A lot of times as artists, you let your identity as an artist overwhelm you. It starts to make you delusional about how good you are. You start to think you're way better than you really are. You start to think your work is more important than it really is. And it's just not a good headspace to be in, because in reality, every artist is replaceable. But your ego can just get to your head and you start to think that you're more important than other people, you're better than other people. But it's just not true. Sometimes you just need to fall on your face for you to actually see how good you are. Like skating, it's the same thing. Like sometimes you start to get good and you think you're better than you actually are. And then instead of skating at your local park, you go to skate at New York or New York City. And then you actually kind of get a grasp of how good you are in reality, because you see all these great skaters and you realize you're actually not that good. And it humbles you. And that's what you need as an artist or just an entrepreneur in general. You need to be humbled and you need to realize that you have to put in more work. You have to work your land. Maybe it means stopping marketing and just spending all your time in the studio getting nice. Maybe that means getting a job or making money somewhere else for a little while. When I did graphic design last year under Mind of Dinah, I had the same thing happen to me where I thought my work was really good. I thought it was way better than it actually was. I thought I deserved to be making way more money. But in reality, it just got to my head. Like I wasn't that good. Like I was making good work, but the amount of work I was putting in did not deserve what I thought it did. I just needed to be humbled because my work didn't have any meaning. I wasn't sharing my story. I wasn't sharing tips. I wasn't having an impact. I wasn't making YouTube videos. All I was doing was posting on Instagram and thinking that it would actually do something. But of course it didn't. So ask yourself, are you working your land or are you chasing a fantasy? With the work you're putting in, like for me, for example, like the work I was putting in, it was a fantasy because the work I was putting in would not amount to anything. I was barely working. I was too much in my head. Be sober-minded. Think realistically. You may have to put in a lot more work to actually see results. It may mean taking a step back and it may hurt in the process. Falling on your face and realizing you're not as good as you think you are, it hurts. You either have to double down, put more work in, or you just give up, and the choice is yours.